Okay, I think we are live. I think we're doing this, people. Okay, I think I finally got it. Well, it took me forever to get this stream set up, unfortunately. I do apologize for that. Give me a few moments while I get adjusted. I hope that we get some people in here soon. Put this over here. Also, if you see a green glow in the background, that's because I'm using my green screen as a curtain. So that's to explain why that is. But hopefully we get some folks in here soon, and I can just chill out with y'all while I build this Lego set. I've been wanting to build this Lego set for a while, and this seemed like as good of an excuse as any to take care of that. Let me actually move this back a bit. You can see more. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Okay, yeah, I like this setup. All right, perfect. Well, I'm going to go ahead and break open this set. My brother gave this to me, I believe, for either Christmas or my birthday, and I really like it, and now seemed a good as time as any to build it. Hopefully some people will show up soon and we can do this. I'm actually going to turn the fan on real quick. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. That may be a little loud. Let's see. Okay, we're just going to do it like this. No fan. We're just going to have it be sweaty and with water and whatnot. This should be a fun time. All right, here we go. Time to unbox the Lego set. I'm gonna end up destroying this box. I always destroy boxes every time I try to open something. Also, if you just came in, feel free to say hi in the chat. And let's just talk. We are finally up and running here, so let us see what we got. I see we got at least one person in. Say hi in the chat if you're here. Totally down to talk all things fantasy and sci-fi related as I build this set. Let's get everything out here. This has so many bags. This is also going to give a little Lego ASMR for you. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Hello, welcome to the chat. Do you have any topics on your mind that you want to talk about? Thank you for joining for the live stream. Okay, I think that is everything. Got the stickers, can't forget those. All right. Oh, this one came out of the bag. ASMR at work is wild, lol. I'm sorry. That was just a joke. Don't worry. I would never, ever do something like that sincerely. Let's see. This instruction book is huge. This is a huge instruction book for this Lego set. Doesn't that come with a KOTOR fig? It does. It comes with Darth Malik, which is awesome. I think you can only get him with this set. Let me see if I can find him. I may not have given myself enough space on this table to be able to... Oh, here he is. I found the pieces of him in here. Okay, well, we'll build him when we get to that, so... But let's go ahead and start off with this novella that is the book for building this set. All right. I assume we're going to start with bag number 1, but I guess we will see here. These pages are so thick. Yes, bag number 1. All right, let's start there. I'm actually going to put, I think, all these other bags back in the box just so that the table is more clear, so I have more space to work. So real, lol, bro, reading a light novel to build R2-D2. Yes, exactly. I'm going to have to add this onto my book ranking list at the end of the year. This thing is so long for an instruction manual. All right, let's put these ones back in the box. And we'll just go ahead and do the bag 1 first. But how's your day going, man? Anything on your mind? Hopefully the audio is good. I'm trying to use this microphone, so... Lego R2 book review. Probably not as a standalone. Maybe I'll include it in my my end video as a little joke. Okay, here we go. We finally found bag number 1. We also got this random piece that was not in any of the bags previously. And I have no idea if this is an essential piece or not. So we're just going to keep that right there until the time is such. Just at work, I'll have this on in the background. I got hyped when I saw it scheduled. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully this makes your work a little more enjoyable. Hopefully it's not just the sound of crackling plastic in the background. But if you have any discussion topics, anything related to fantasy or sci-fi, feel free to shoot that my direction. All right, but let's get started building this thing. I have no idea how long this is going to take me also. This stream could be 30 minutes. It could end up being 2 hours. I guess we will see. I'm going to see if I can't build the whole thing during the whole stream. But if not, you know, can always save the rest of it for another time. Okay, so 2 of the little tube ones. Make a trash pile down over here. Oh, we got 3 people in now. Awesome. If you're in, feel free to say hi in the chat. I hope you don't mind the sound of crinkling plastic, but feel free to throw out any discussion topics my way. But to start us off, I'll just go ahead and talk about, I just recently started watching the new Alien Earth TV show that premiered on Hulu, and it's pretty good so far. I've actually been impressed about how faithful it is to the lore. It actually expands on the lore in some pretty interesting ways. I'm very curious to see where they go with it. It's got kind of a unique premise for the Alien movies. So we'll see where it goes. But overall, first 2 episodes, I'd recommend it. So have you watched Thunderbolts? I'm a huge fan of John Walker, and they did my boy U.S. Agent so dirty in the show when he did nothing wrong. So, like, is he redeemed in Thunderbolts? He's kind of redeemed in Thunderbolts. I do think he is better in Thunderbolts than he is in I always want to call it Captain Falcon. The Captain America and the Winter Soldier. No, it's called. See, all these Disney Plus shows get confused in my mind. It's called the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show. Anyway, back to your question. I do think John Walker has done better in Thunderbolts than he is in that show. He's still not great. I wish they would do more with him, but, you know, such is life. I will say, though, that Thunderbolts, of the Marvel movies we have gotten so far, it is one of the better ones. I actually really enjoyed both Thunderbolts as well as the new Fantastic Four movie that just came out. I thought they were both pretty solid, especially considering some of the stuff the MCU has put out lately. I am very grateful that the Fantastic Four especially were done well. So I don't know if that gives you any indication for whether or not you'll enjoy Thunderbolts, but I personally enjoyed it, and I'm curious to see where they'll go with it. Oh, I'm also supposed to build the mini R2-D2 here. I'm also so glad that the sets now come with these little these things that let you pick the Lego pieces apart without breaking them. Because you know, as a kid, sometimes you would do that with your teeth, which is not healthy and generally not recommended. So yeah, we are not going to do it with our teeth. We are going to do it with the little crowbar thing. Captain Falcon is the GOAT Lamau, but I've always liked U.S. Agent. I had an action figure when I was a kid. Oh, nice! I was never really familiar with that character until the MCU. So, you know, it was interesting to get exposed to him for the first time through that. But I've been getting a lot more into comic books lately, so who knows? Maybe I'll read something with him in it. All right, guys, we're done. See, I built R2-D2. It's all finished. There, we've got the little one done, and now it's back to the big one. Fantastic Four looked good. Just don't be close to Pedro. No comment. I have seen the videos you are talking about. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have no clue what's going on there. I'm a little scared to speculate, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Is this the... Yeah. Okay, we got the white piece here. How many pages does this have? Oh my gosh. This instruction book has 174 pages. This is going to take a while. I am so glad I decided to do this as a live stream, so I'm not just doing this by myself the whole time. Here, I can move stuff so you can kind of get a better view of what exactly I'm doing here. I think right now I'm building one of the legs of R2-D2. There are so many tiny pieces with this one. But this is fun. I haven't built a Lego set in so long. It has been a long time since I've built a set, so... Live streams are fun. More people will come in soon. It always starts slow, then people get free and can watch. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. The first live stream I ever did, I felt like I was super uncomfortable. I felt like I wasn't really saying anything that interesting. So I'm really hoping that this one will be more entertaining for folks and that folks will stick around. Again, if you're just joining us, feel free to throw something in the chat as a topic to discuss while I build this set, because this one is going to take some time. And it's funny as well, because live streaming in the past never really appealed to me, just because I was concerned about being very entertaining off the cuff, you know, because that's one of the things, you know, people will make jokes about, you know, oh, live streaming, you know, it's not that tough. Hold on. I put this on backwards. There we go. The people will say that live streaming is, oh, it's not so hard. But I mean, think about trying to come up with interesting topics to talk about off the cuff and to be able to manage talking with dozens and dozens and sometimes thousands of people at the same time. It's pretty impressive for the people who are professionals at it. What do you think happened to KOTOR 3? Or was it a remake of KOTOR 1 that's like planned, but nobody thinks it's coming out? Yeah, that's a weird situation because they did announce that remake that they were doing of KOTOR 1. That was a couple years ago, I think. And then just out of the blue, the project manager left. And then EA deleted the teaser trailer from YouTube. So there's no legal way technically to access the trailer. There may be people who have re-uploaded it, but yeah, they just like scrubbed it from the internet. So I have no idea if that means that, because there was never an official cancellation given either. So I have no idea if that means that they canceled it or if they decided, you know what, let's just scrap this and go back to formula and try to figure this thing out again. Because we haven't heard anything on it since the trailer was just scrubbed from the internet. Personally, though, I would be interested in a KOTOR remake. It is, personally, I would still say the best Star Wars game that has ever been made, full stop, is KOTOR 1. And I think a remake has a lot of potential. I think if you did it similar to the way the Final Fantasy VII remake has been done, with even if it was that kind of gameplay or something similar, I feel like people would really get a kick out of it. Because man, Star Wars and gaming has just been in a not so great state recently with Outlaws. I watched gameplay footage of that and I was not impressed. It looked like the most generic, mediocre Ubisoft game I've ever seen. So, which is very unfortunate because the Star Wars IP has so much potential, and yet so many of these developers just can't figure out what they want to do with it. So, but who knows? We got Andor, so it is possible for them to make good Star Wars stuff. Let's just hope we get more good stuff in the future. This is what I built so far. We've got a long ways to go, people. We are on page 9 of 179, so... Let's see. I'm hoping that by about noon, we will get more people in here, but we will see. We will see. Let's see. Let me get these pieces out. I miss classic Star Wars games like Legends era, like Kyle Katarn, Delta Squad, that stuff. Yeah, no, I completely agree. The old Star Wars canon was not perfect by any means, but man, there was some really cool characters. There was some really cool games that came out of that. The Jedi Academy games, those are pretty good. I do enjoy those ones for sure. Okay, so these ones, we're going to make 2 of these and then put them on the sides. Hello, people just joining us. If you have anything you want to talk about, fantasy or sci-fi related, it doesn't have to be Star Wars, but just feel free to drop whatever you want to talk about down in the chat, and let's talk about it. All right. Let's get these ones on here. Right now, it's just a lot of these kinds of pieces. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is what I've built so far. We have got a long ways to go, so I hope you will stick around. All right, let's see. This is an interesting one. I'm trying to think of anything Star Wars related recently that I've either been playing or have watched. I think the last big Star Wars thing that I engaged with was Andor, which was really good. If you haven't seen it, I cannot sing the praises of that show enough. It is so well written. The character development is awesome. The world building, it actually adds to the Star Wars universe in some interesting ways rather than take away from it, which is quite a feat for this current era of Star Wars. So yeah, Andor would highly recommend if you're someone who's burned out on Star Wars or has been very disappointed with the direction it's been going. Watch Andor. Trust me, it is well worth it. It is. I would honestly put it up there amongst stuff like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul in terms of its character writing, in terms of its drama. It's just fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. Hello there, Media Haven. Thank you for joining in. Feel free to drop whatever topic, fantasy or sci-fi related, in the chat, and let's talk about it. Right now, this is what I've built of Lego R2-D2 so far. It is very much not much, but we are getting there. And this is why I wanted to do this as a live stream, so that I wasn't just sitting here by myself doing it for however long this is going to take. And we'll see how long I keep this stream going for as well. Sun Eater Saga. I started reading the first book a little while back, and I liked what I read so far. I only, man, the Two to Ramble guys are going to get on to me. But I started reading the first Sun Eater book a little while back, and I liked what I read of it so far. I read about a quarter of the first book. And the problem, though, is I started reading The Expanse, and I got really sucked into that. And The Expanse book one was just so fantastic. It had me hooked from beginning to end. And so it distracted me from Sun Eater. And I think I can only handle one big space opera at a time. But don't worry, I do want to get back to Sun Eater because I did like what I've read so far. Everybody has been hyping it to me. So I definitely want to check it out. Hang on one sec. I dropped a piece. There we go. Like Wheel of Time book one is the worst. That's interesting that you say that. Because I did read if you look at the oldest videos on my channel, if you dare go back that far, I did read the first two books of the Wheel of Time, and I liked book one, and I loved book two. But then book three, I think the problem is I just tried to speed through the Wheel of Time too fast. I think I got overly ambitious and ended up burning myself out. It has been forever since I've picked up a Wheel of Time book, but I do want to go back to it. I kind of consider it my fantasy Mount Everest, if you will, where I know it's going to take me a while to get through it, but I do want to take that journey. I've just heard so many good things about it, and there were enough things that I liked about books 1 and 2 that made me want to keep going and to make sure that I didn't get spoiled on it. So the only book I've been into recently is the DMC4 Deadly Fortune novels. I didn't even know they made Devil May Cry books, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. 1 second. Oh, man. Did I build this wrong? Hold on. It's supposed to... Oh, okay. It's supposed to be the other way around. But you said I was also recently brought the original DMC1 novel. It was super expensive, but worth it for the collection. Nice. Trust me, man. I understand the drive to get collectibles. I have so many of my own. I have recently made it a mission of mine to get all of the Batman Funko Pops. I recently picked up the one of this is so bad I'm forgetting his name, but the Batman Beyond Batman, Terry McGinnis, I think his character's name is, and I really love that figure. It is so cool. How about cliche? Media Haven, are you talking about Wheel of Time still? Because if so, the first book is fairly cliche. It does pull a lot from Tolkien, very much so, is very much inspired by Lord of the Rings. But I actually didn't mind that so much. The thing that bogged me down in book one of Wheel of Time was actually that we spent so much time with Matt and Rand just running from the Dark Friends. I am spilling so many pieces. We spent so much time running from the Dark Friends, just village to village, and I just got really fed up of the constant. We got to go to this village and perform a song and dance to make money, to rent a boat, to go to this location, and that was so much of the back half of book one of Wheel of Time. That was the stuff that was bogging me down. The other stuff didn't really bug me as much, but that did mess with me. I got to pick up these pieces again. I am so sorry. I spilled like 3 pieces. I was worried this table wasn't going to give me enough space to work with, but here we are. Okay, we are now on to page 14 of the of the 179 page instruction book. Look, it even gives you a little progress bar here on the bottom that shows you how close you are to completing the set, which is hilarious. Let's see. Yeah, they make books for DMC. They're canon. Also, dang, Batman Beyond is my favorite Batman. Nice. There are very few Batman that I feel like you could say is your favorite and you could go wrong. I think the only one that I would strongly disagree with you is if you said that George Clooney Batman was your favorite. I would have some very strong thoughts on that. Otherwise, I think there are perfectly valid reasons to like any of the other versions. Let's see. Yes, referring to the first book in the series, yeah, you can definitely see the Tolkien inspiration in the first book of the Wheel of Time. And but book 2 is where it really hit its stride for me. I really enjoyed book 2 a lot, and I was not expecting for the action to ramp up as much as it did. Sorry, I am losing track of pieces here. Here we go. Poor R2-D2, yeah. I'm trying to do the best I can here. There we go. This is an interesting one. I don't think I've ever seen this piece before. Okay, so that one goes in the back. Is it there? Right now it's just building a lot of these connector pieces. I think that's the right height. Because I don't think it'll go lower than that. Yeah. 2 down from the top. Yep, perfect. Don't worry that Batman sucks, lol. I think his movie was bad and he wasn't even a good choice regardless. I agree. I really, really like the new Batman, Absolute Batman. He's 6'8" and poor. I have seen some images of Absolute Batman, and it looks absolutely insane. It really does look like just utter insanity. I do want to check out Absolute Batman because it does look like a lot of fun. Wheel of Time Book 3 is the best. Man, I need to get back to it. Everybody says that books 3 and 4 are where the series really hits its stride. So I think I just need to. My plan, at least, was that I'm going to watch some videos that recap books 1 and 2 just because it has been so long since I've read books 1 and 2. And I really don't want to reread them because that's just going to take me way more time. And I've already got so many things that I want to do. So my plan is to watch recaps of books 1 and 2 and then jump back into book 3. Sparkly Edward becomes Batman so he can stay out of the light. That's a pretty good fan theory. I do really enjoy Robert Pattinson as Batman. I was a little skeptical at first, but man, I think he pulled it off so well. I think he does the brooding side of Batman very well. You just he's one of those guys who can just shoot a look, and you see so much trauma and anger behind his eyes. He does such a good job with that, and I really liked the movie as a whole. I actually really enjoyed the Batman, and am really excited for the Batman Part 2. I hate to go off topic again. Where is this other piece? I'm supposed to have a second of this 5-road one. Where is it? There it is. It's in the back of the bag. Don't mind my stupidity. He did the brooding so well because he's still mad about Twilight. Maybe that's why, maybe the guy's still got some pent-up rage about that. Who knows? Though the funny thing is that as much as people make fun of those movies, they did put him on the map. Same thing with Kristen Stewart. That's kind of the ironic thing. Both of them have had very successful careers since those movies. I saw an article the other day that was talking about how Robert Pattinson ran into a guy in the airport, and the guy recognized him. And the guy said, "Oh, aren't you that guy from Twilight?" And Robert Pattinson was kind of reluctantly, "Yes, that's me." And then the guy said, "It's a shame you quit acting after that." It's just like, did he not see anything else with Robert Pattinson in it other than Twilight? I feel so bad for him because poor Robert Pattinson is like so many people only know him for that, despite him having been in so many other things since then. Well, and also, someone can correct me on this. Was Harry Potter, was that before Twilight when he was in Harry Potter 4? Was that before or after Twilight? I don't know. I'm not super big on either of those franchises, so I'm unfortunately can't tell you much there. Let's see. Not gonna lie, I kind of messed with Twilight. Don't hate. Hey man, we all go through dark times in our lives, so no judgment. I'm just giving you grief. No worries, man. We all get into stuff that we look back on and we're like, why did I like that so much? And I mean, I can see why people enjoy it. See, I say that and then I can't think of anything. I mean, I guess the only thing would be the romance angle. If you're really into that, then people would like it. Megalopolis really made me want to throw up. Oh my gosh, I wanted to see Megalopolis, and then it went out of theaters before I could watch it. And then you can't find it anywhere. It's literally not on streaming. If you go on Amazon Prime, they have a page for Megalopolis, but if you go to the page, it says that the content rights for this movie have expired. So I don't know if it's like Francis Ford Coppola decided he just wants to wipe that film from existence, but you literally can't get it anywhere on streaming. I don't even know if there's a physical copy of it. I have no idea if they ever did like a Blu-ray release of it. So the movie, if it's out there, it's just buried. Pretentious? It sure seemed like it, and unfortunately, knowing Francis Ford Coppola, that is not too shocking, which is unfortunate, because The Godfather 1 and The Godfather 2 are both masterpieces. Those are both excellent films, and I have not seen Apocalypse Now, but I have heard very good things about it, and I'm sure it is good. But then the guy just went insane. I don't know what happened. He started believing his own press or something like that. Okay, this turn. Okay, I think this is a piece of R2-D2's leg. Okay, so it goes through interesting. This is what we got so far. We are a long ways from R2-D2. Let's see. Okay, now we'll do this one. I wanted to know your thoughts on the new Superman. Guy Gardner was a crazy pick for Green Lantern. Also, I just like the aesthetics of Twilight and the blue filter. The blue filter, huh? That's what interests you. That's funny. The blue filter cracks me up because it just makes everyone look like they're sick or have hypothermia. I don't understand the blue filter, but in terms of the new Superman, though, I liked it. I do want to see it again. It is a movie where it's very clearly it's very ambitious. They tried to shove a lot into one movie, and I don't know if all of it quite works for me personally. I would say that whenever the movie is about Superman, Lois, and Lex Luthor, it's great. I really enjoyed everything revolving around that. When we start getting into Green Lantern and Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific, it kind of loses me a little bit, not gonna lie. Which is funny because I've seen so many people online comment how like Mr. Terrific is their favorite character in that movie, and I disagree. I really liked the Superman and Lex dynamic and wish more of the movie had been about that, because the stuff that we got of it I really enjoyed. I did like Guy Gardner though. Nathan Fillion is such a good actor that he can pull off that annoying character very well without it becoming overly grating. I doubt Guy Gardner. Well, we know that Guy Gardner is not going to be the only Green Lantern that we have, because they already announced they're doing. We already announced that we're doing the. Sorry. There's a Lanterns TV show that they're making for HBO Max, and so they're going to be introducing, I think, Hal Jordan and John Stewart, Green Lantern, in that show, which should be fun. Hot take, I actually like John Stewart better than Hal Jordan. I think he's a more interesting character. I think he has a more interesting dynamic with the other members of the Justice League. I've never been a big Hal Jordan fan, though to be fair, I've never read a comic where he was the center focus, so who knows? Maybe my opinion could shift on that. Wife called, missed the last 3 minutes. No worries, man. Don't leave your wife on red on account of me. That would be a very uncomfortable conversation of, hey, I was watching a guy building a Lego R2-D2, so I couldn't answer you. So don't worry about that. All right. The progress bar is slowly advancing. Let's see. This piece does not want to go in. There we go. All right. And we got that bit. All right. This one. Yeah, I've gotten back into Superman a bit, so I was wondering if it was good. I think aside from Christopher Reeve, Henry Cavill is my favorite. A lot of people love Henry Cavill. Here's the thing for me, and I know I am going to inevitably kick the hornet's nest of the Snyder fans again. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he as an actor does a good job. I think the biggest problem is that the writing did not do him a lot of favors. I think the biggest problem with Zack Snyder's portrayal of Superman is that he seemed way more interested in Superman as this godlike figure than in Clark Kent as a human being. I mean, we barely get any stuff in the Snyderverse of Clark Kent doing reporter stuff, and I think it's just because Zack Snyder doesn't really care about that part of the character. I think he is way more interested in watching Superman punch giant monsters through buildings. I think that's what he enjoys about the character. Cavill needs a blank check for Highlander. I am interested to watch that movie. I am interested to see how they update it. I have seen the original Highlander. It is goofy, it is corny, but it is a lot of fun. It is just a classic, fun 80s high fantasy action movie. I do like the original Highlander quite a bit. So I'm interested to see how the remake goes, because I think if I'm remembering the cast correctly, they've got Henry Cavill for the lead and Dave Bautista as the villain. So we'll see how it goes. Also, I like how I grew up on the kids' comics with him as the main character, so I like him a lot. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yes, I'm sure his standalone stuff is interesting. It's just whenever I had seen like a thing where he was teamed up in a Justice League thing, he was always just the most least interesting character to me. Okay. Sorry, let me get this piece real quick, and then I will answer what's next. There we go. Look at that. It looks nothing like R2-D2. The box lied to me. Cheese, love it. Yes. Yes, it is the same reason why I love the 90s Mortal Kombat movies, both of them. Even though the second one is objectively terrible, it is so entertaining. Oh my gosh, I love both of those movies. And I'm excited for the new one of that too. I think Carl Urban will do a good job as Johnny Cage, and I think there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that. And I liked the newest one. I thought it was pretty solid. See, You're making a face, Media Haven. I don't know if that's approval or disapproval of what I just said. Get over here. Okay, so I'm going to say approval, hopefully. Green Lantern never was that interesting, to be honest, at least to me. I just like all the iterations. That makes sense. His powers are kind of more interesting than his character. I think part of the problem too, and this is going to sound really mean, Green Lantern is kind of the nerdiest out of all the DC characters. Like, I don't know. I think the fact that he has a pledge, I don't know. If done poorly, it makes it sound really lame. It just, I don't know. Everyone fear Green Lantern's might. It's just, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm sounding like a crazy person, but it comes across as really lame and forced. I've seen clips from the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe that movie did a lot of bad publicity for that character. Why is this? Sorry, let me. Why is this piece? This piece does not want to go in. The Street Fighter movie, I love the live action Street Fighter movie. It is so bad, but it is so entertaining. Raul Julia as M. Bison is great. Jean-Claude Van Damme is great. Um, I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyway and see what happens. The rumor, at least, is that Jean-Claude Van Damme was on drugs for a good chunk of filming that movie. Which, if that is true, would explain a lot about his performance. Wait a minute. Oh no. I'm doing the thing that you should never do when building a Lego set, and I'm going back a page because I'm worried I put a piece in wrong. See, I'm trying to do this whole multitasking thing, which is hilarious because there's only 3 people in chat right now, and I'm already getting distracted. Yes, I did do that wrong. Shoot. It's okay. It's not that difficult of a fix. There we go. Raul Julia Rip, yes, because I believe that was his final film role before he passed away. But you can tell was having so much fun with that movie, and he did such a good job. He was just owning it. He perfectly understood the kind of movie he was in and just embraced it. There we go, man. That section was a little harder than I thought it would be. I lost my page. There we go. Okay. We're back to it. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. It has been 47 minutes, and I am not even all through bag 1 right now. This set is going to take a while. Capcom had some crazy multimedia stuff like the Mega Man shows, the Resident Evil movies, and the Street Fighter movie where a Frenchman plays Street Fighter's Captain America. Oh, you're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes. That is one of the most hilarious aspects of that movie is that Jean-Claude Van Damme's accent is so strong, especially in that movie, and yet he's supposed to be playing this like hyper-American character. Sorry, I lost my place. Give me a second so I can get back on track here. 29. Okay, that's what I was doing. Oh yeah, Raul Julia had cancer while shooting. Yes, it's very sad. It's very sad that was the case, and it's pretty impressive that he was able to do that role even while battling cancer, for sure. Did it only because his kids loved the games? Yes, and that's very sweet. And what's so funny too is that he is immortalized in that movie. Like everyone agrees, even if they don't like the movie, everyone agrees that his performance as M. Bison is fantastic. It's iconic. Let me get this in here. All right, it's getting a little hot in here. I'm going to turn the fan on. Y'all let me know how loud this is. Okay, let me know. How loud is that? Is that loud to where it's distracting, or is it annoying? Let me know. I have no idea how it sounds on y'all's end. And if it sounds too bad, don't worry, I'll turn it off. Not bad, more ASMR. I shouldn't have made that joke. Now that joke is never going to leave the stream because I made that joke. Let's see. Just another Tuesday. Yep, such a great quote. I like how Ryu and Ken are barely important in the plot of the movie. Yes, that is so funny. they're like con men, aren't they? They're not even like professional martial artists. They're like con men who happen to stumble into the plot of the film, which is hilarious. It's kind of like how in the original Mortal Kombat movie, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are just mini bosses. They barely play any role in the story. Thanks for the laughs. Keep up the amazing videos, and I'll see you in the chats. Thank you, Media Haven. Really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate your participation in the stream. We'll see how long this goes for after this. I think I've only got about 2 hours in me. We are definitely not finishing this in the stream. But you know what? That's okay. Because that just means there's more opportunities for me to keep building this thing. You have a good rest of your day, man. All right. Let's put this here. Look at where the progress bar is. Guys, we're not even a quarter through this set, and it's almost been an hour. It's okay. Like I said, this is a good thing. I also apologize if my camera is shaking a bit. I think the problem is because I keep messing with the table, so there's going to be a little bit of shaking in the background. Oh, and you can also see a little bit of my green screen over there. That if you see a green glow over here, that's what this is. We were talking about Green Lantern earlier, so I guess it's fitting. All right. Okay. On this one on the green side, and this one, I'm glad they color coded, because this would be so easy to mix up. But yes, if you guys have any other topics or any questions or what have you, feel free to drop it in the chat. Let's see these now. Hopefully there's no yellow Green Lantern mentioned. Yes, for sure. I'm not super familiar on the Lanterns lore. I just know that the green ones are the good guys, and then the yellow and the orange and the red are all bad. Oh. Most of my Green Lantern knowledge actually comes from Injustice. I actually really like both of those games, and I like that storyline is pretty fun to me. We are almost through bag 1, people. We are making progress. Not gonna lie, yellow as a weakness is pretty dumb. Yes, see, that's the thing, man. That's another reason I think I can't get into Green Lantern. It's like, his pledge is dumb, his weakness is dumb. It's just like, And then half the time, the stuff he makes with his powers is like a baseball bat. You know? It's like, it doesn't make stuff that interesting. Yeah, I don't mean to be hating on Green Lantern so much. I guess I just don't quite get the appeal as much. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. Bag 1 is empty. It only took me 52 minutes. Let's see. Make sure I get this right. There we go. The pledge sounds like a SpongeBob thing. Yeah. the Green Lantern pledge is just... I mean, I'm sure in the right context you could make it sound cool. Maybe they should... See, that'll be interesting then, because I'm pretty sure James Gunn is making the Green Lantern TV show. Maybe he'll be able to do that character in a way that's interesting. Let's see. I subconsciously hid it in my memory, but you reminded and I instantly liked him less again. I'm sorry. Yes, the pledge is quite something. There's a hilarious video of by Channel Awesome of all people. Not to throw shade at other YouTubers, but they have a hilarious video where Doug Walker and his brother watch Green Lantern for the first time. It is one of my favorite videos that they have ever done, because their commentary is so funny. And they have this whole thing when Ryan Reynolds is doing the pledge and Rob Walker starts going, "I pledge allegiance to the United States of Green Lanternism." And it is just so funny because it just so accurately fits how I feel about the Green Lantern pledge. Look at that. Finished bag 1. This is what I've got so far. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure this is part of his leg, but what's hilarious is that it doesn't even resemble anything R2-D2 yet. I like how Ryan's career is now trying as hard as he can to separate himself from that movie. Yes. Yes. They even have that joke in Deadpool 2 where he shoots Ryan Reynolds before he can accept the role of Green Lantern, which is hilarious. Oh my gosh, guys, we're getting into bag 2 now. It's a miracle. He's not even a good Hal, in my opinion. I can't imagine he would be. Part of my problem, man, this is just, I'm just hating on so many people this stream. I'm sorry. But my biggest problem with Ryan Reynolds is that he just plays the same character in every single movie. He's just like the smart-mouthed, like, just rebel. And that's what he is in, like, every single movie. Oh, we're building Darth Malak now, guys. I'm actually really happy I got this figure. I wonder what pack the Revan figure comes in, because I would love to have both Malak and Revan if I could. Where is his little hood thing? Ugh. There we go. Woo, KOTOR, yes, I completely agree. KOTOR is goated for sure. Ugh. There's his little jaw guard or whatever you want to call it. The lightsaber. It's hard to get some of these pieces out. Building the fig is the most progress you've made in completing something this stream. Thank you for pointing that out. You are completely right, though. This... Alright. Yes. There we go. I forgot that Malak's got a little tattoo on the back of his head. Oh. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, guys. We got him. I love this figure. It's great. We'll put him... Where did I put R2-D2? Ah, there he is. And we'll put those guys over here. Yes, now this is going to want me to go back and replay KOTOR. It is such a good game. All right, well, we are 15 seconds from an hour streaming, and we are just now getting into bag 2, ladies and gentlemen. KOTOR 1 or 2, which is better? I would say KOTOR 1 is better. There are some gameplay elements of 2 that, sorry, got distracted. Oh, he's got a little pedestal you put it on. Look at that. Celebrating 25 years of Lego Star Wars. This stream is not sponsored, by the way. Trust me, I would hope to have many more subscribers if I were ever sponsored by Lego Star Wars. But to answer your question, I would say that KOTOR 1 is better, mainly because the story and the characters, I think, are so much better in KOTOR 1. KOTOR 2 is cool. Like, I mean, I think the thing that people remember the most about KOTOR 2 is Nihilus. And he's a cool design, but he's not really a character, if we're being honest. He's just more of kind of a stand-in for Traya, who is the real villain at the end of the game. So, here, let me put Malik over here. There we go. So, I do like KOTOR 2, but I will say that I have played through KOTOR 1 several times. I have only played KOTOR 2 once, and I think that kind of tells you a bit about the quality of the game. Part of the problem, too, is unfortunately, I think KOTOR 2 had a very rough development, which is part of the reason why we never got a KOTOR 3, is because the game was really rushed. And unfortunately, you can see that in some of the aspects of it, which is unfortunate because a lot of the mechanics of KOTOR 1 are still there. And it's definitely a good game. I would not call it a bad game. But it's hard. It's hard to make a sequel that lives up to something as legendarily good as KOTOR 1. All right. Yeah, I think I'm only going to do 1 more hour for this stream. I can already feel myself getting hungry, so... And I'm not one of those guys who's going to eat while live streaming. I'm sorry. That just sounds so unappealing to me. I do not want other people to watch me eat while I talk to the camera. Leave that for the guys with millions of followers who just can watch anything on their stream and people will watch them do it. I'm not naming names here, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And who knows, hopefully we'll get some more people in here soon as well. Let's see. I'm back, lol. Sorry, work. Gotta support my boy. Thank you. I appreciate it. And don't worry, again, your work takes precedence. It's already hilarious. This stream have already had people comment of, sorry, I had to talk to my wife, or sorry, I'm at work. And it's like, you guys don't need to apologize for that. It's fine. There are more important things in life than watching me build a Lego set. So, no worries. Okay. I do want to check. This is going to slow my progress, but I am curious how many bags there are. I think there are at least 12 bags. So I have no idea if that means that it's going to take me like 48 hours to complete this thing. I sincerely doubt it. But But man, this is a big undertaking. But I'm so glad I haven't built a Lego set in so long. Have you played Metroid? I think Samus is the definitive way to write a female protagonist. I have not played the Metroid games. I have heard good things about them. I think one of the big problems for me is that I never owned a Nintendo system growing up except for a Nintendo DS. Other than that, we didn't own a Wii or a Switch or anything like that. So I am not that familiar with Zelda, with Metroid, with games that are more specific to that company, is what I'm trying to say. Oh boy, what are we building here? Oh, I skipped a page. That's why I was confused. Get this base plate here. I will say, in terms of writing a female protagonist well, the one that I've seen most recently that I really enjoyed was actually I read a comic book called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I think it's from 2023 or 2022. It's a pretty newer comic, but I think they actually write her very well in that story. And really enjoyed that comic book run. And I'm excited because apparently the new Supergirl movie is going to be based very heavily off of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book. So I'm very hopeful for that, and I like the girl that they've got cast as the character. So it'll be interesting to watch for sure. It's so funny. I've been building for so long, and yet I still have no idea what exactly this is gonna be. Hey, Dominic, thanks for jumping in. Feel free to ask any questions related to fantasy or sci-fi, just as a discussion topic for the group. While I try to get these tiny little gold pieces out of this bag without spilling it all over the place. I like watching the bad CGI from the Supergirl and the Flash shows. Oh my gosh, man. Let me tell you, those shows went downhill so hard. I actually got fairly into some of the CW superhero shows when I was in college. The Flash was my personal favorite. And I actually will contend, I haven't watched it in a while, but I will contend that seasons 1 through 3 of The Flash are pretty solid. And then in season 4, it just takes a nosedive. And I did not watch any of The Flash after the first couple episodes of season 4. It got so bad so fast. The biggest problem for me is that they kept up the relationship drama that should have been resolved by the end of season 3, and they just kept doing it. It was so ridiculous. And yeah, the CGI for later on in those shows just looks absolutely insane. Do you know that the die-cast company Jada also made a 1x32 scale Transformers G1 Jazz? I did not know that. I know that I'm not super familiar with the company you're referring to, but I did see some really cool looking Optimus Prime and Megatron figures. So if they made a Jazz one as well, I'm sure it is really cool also. Let me see. Sorry guys, trying to multitask here. Let me get these pieces out real quick. Grant Gustin is Barry Allen. I do think he does a really good job. I actually think he does a really good job in this show. Yeah, he's one of the better actors in those shows. I also like Stephen Amell as Green Arrow decently enough. And to be fair, I mainly watched Supergirl because I had a really big crush on Melissa Benoist. So do with that what you will, I suppose. Because Supergirl, I only watched the first 2 seasons of it, and then by season 3, I was done. Those shows kind of got ruined for me because someone pointed out that they're basically soap operas with a superhero skin, and I know that's true in my heart of hearts, even though I don't really want to admit it. So, ooh, stomach was really growling there. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Put this one here. Jada also made a lot of Batmobiles. The only Batmobile that is missing is the Arkham Asylum Batmobile. Okay. Very cool. I do like, if you couldn't tell, I am a huge Batman fan. Batman is probably my favorite superhero of all time. And yeah, so if they made some really good quality Batmobiles, I would definitely want to check that out. I do not have the money to spend on any more big collectibles right now, but it would be cool to at least see some pictures of that. Yeah, I get it. I watched Twilight because Alice. Who's Alice in Twilight? When you said Alice, I thought of... when you said Alice, I thought Resident Evil is what I thought you were talking about. I don't know who Alice in Twilight is. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll just have to look up a picture afterwards, and then maybe I will understand and be more sympathetic. Sorry, I should be doing this on camera. That's like the whole point of the stream. I'm sorry. There we go. I have the Adam West Batmobile. Nice. That is such an iconic looking car. I love the look of the Batmobile from the Adam West TV show and movie. What do you think of Batman's no-kill rule? It's been on my mind lately. Better not be planning on killing anyone. What do I think of the no-kill rule, though? I personally, I have enjoyed stories more that have Batman incorporate the no-killing rule. I think part of the problem is when you open up the floodgates to where Batman allows himself to kill, it creates a lot of issues because, frankly, if Batman is okay with killing, why does he bother putting people in Arkham Asylum? Why does he allow criminals like the Joker to live? People who have killed hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. And why does he bother using all this non-lethal technology? It's one of the big problems that I have with the Zack Snyder portrayal of Batman, is that he basically just becomes the Punisher in a bat suit. Like, he's just blowing people away with guns. And to me, it takes away from the identity of the character. And I get that there have been iterations in the comics where Batman has killed, but I personally prefer it when he has the no-kill rule. I think it makes for more interesting storytelling. I think it helps set him apart from the villains that he fights. Is it realistic to how a vigilante... How a vigilante would operate in the real world? I think that's up for debate. But at least for the storytelling of Bruce Wayne as a character, I prefer it when he has the no-kill rule. Make sure I'm not missing anything here real quick. Okay, let's do this. Animated series Batmobile is my favorite. That one is pretty cool. It very clearly takes a lot of inspiration from the Tim Burton Batmobile. Some Ogie dude, hello! Thank you for stopping by. Just building this Lego set right now. talking about all things fantasy and sci-fi. We have been streaming for an hour, and this is what I've built so far. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but honestly, I'm open to it because, frankly, this will just mean more opportunities for more streams. And if you guys enjoy stuff like this, feel free to let me know and share it around. There we go. Look at this. I have no idea what this is, but I built it. Jada even did the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo. Oh, okay. Very cool. I do like fancy collectibles, though I usually do not spring for the expensive ones. I am just not that wealthy. I don't know. I haven't dedicated that much money to it, but I do enjoy some good quality collectibles for sure. We've got 6 people in this stream now. Hello, welcome. If you're just joining us, this is what I've built of Lego R2-D2 so far. Feel free to ask any questions or throw out any topics related to fantasy or sci-fi, and let's chat about it. So good to have you all join in. Put this here. Make sure I'm putting this on the correct side. Yes. Get some of these. Let's see what else. Also, some Okie dude. I was talking at the beginning of this stream. If you haven't watched Alien Earth on Hulu, I would highly recommend it. It is actually pretty solid so far, and I am interested to see where it goes. It expands on the Alien universe in some interesting ways and avoids a lot of the cliches that I've complained about in the past about other Alien movies. We're dealing with a lot of small pieces now. Over here in Germany. Oh, wow. You're from Germany? That's really cool. Over here in Germany, the scale models cost 10 to 15. Is that euros, I assume? 10 to 15 euros. And then the 1x24 scale cost 35 to 46 euros. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. That's actually way more affordable than I was expecting. To be fair, I don't know the conversion from euros to USD off the top of my head, but at least it sounds a lot cheaper than I was initially anticipating. Let's see. Hi, Chamako. Hey, David, how are you doing? Thanks for popping in. I'm just taking questions from the chat, anything related to fantasy or sci-fi right now. Here's what I've built of R2-D2 right now. And for those of you who don't know, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this on stream, but David is my brother, and he is actually the one who gifted me the Lego R2-D2. So thank you very much for that. This is made for some fun content so far. And this is a good excuse for me to finally get to work on building the thing. If you haven't seen it yet, here is the Lego Malik figure. I really like it. It's really cool. If you haven't played KOTOR DC, you should. It is a good game. And then here's the little mini R2-D2. I've been looking at the Metroid Prime Samus Phazon suit. Man, that's a mouthful. Statuette, but it's too expensive. It's by First 4 Figures, and it looks amazing. There's also a Dante DMC statue, and it's hyper-realistic. Sorry, I was going to make a very bad joke when you said that the statue was hyper-realistic, but I'm glad I stopped myself. That's really cool, though. Yeah, I usually don't spring for the super expensive statuettes. I hear Alien Earth is good, which I'm very pleased to hear. Yes, I am enjoying it so far. I wouldn't say it's like amazing. It's not blowing my mind or anything like that, but it's pretty solid. It's definitely better than a lot of the other Alien content out there for sure. Make sure I'm not missing any pieces here. Okay. Thomas, here's another fun fact I forgot to mention. In 2019, Jada Toys was bought by the Simba Dickel Toys Group in Germany. Okay, interesting. So now they're based in Germany now. That is interesting. Let's see here. Let's see. Put this here. I think this is supposed to be part of R2-D2's like chest. Does R2-D2 have a chest? I don't know, but I think it's supposed to be part of his main body. All right. Also, in case you are curious, this instruction booklet comes with a progress bar. This is how far along I am right now. You see that little gray circle at the bottom? I'm basically a little over a quarter of the way through building this thing. Speaking of Alien, there's a really good DS game that's a Metroidvania. You can change characters and there's permadeath. It's pretty cool. Oh, really? And it's an Alien game? That's pretty cool. I would definitely be down to play something like that. Oh gosh. What are your thoughts on Ice Age 6? Is it finally time for Sid the Sloth's villain arc? I've got to confess to you, man, I have only ever sat through all of Ice Age 1 and 2. I have not seen the 3 sequels that came after that. The fact that they're making a 6th one blows my mind. I would have thought, if anything, they would have rebooted it, but it sounds like they are making like a 6th one, that they are continuing the story, which is hilarious. Honestly, why not do a Sith the Sloth, a Sith the Sloth? Got Star Wars on my mind. A Sid the Sloth villain arc. Go for it. Why not? Take the franchise in a crazy direction. Just go hog wild with it. I'm all for it. There's also that hilarious screenshot, if you haven't seen already, there's that hilarious screenshot floating around of Alien Earth, where Sid the Sloth is in the show. I'm not even joking. Ice Age is now canonical to the Alien universe, which is hilarious, and I absolutely love. Thomas, they just bought the distribution for Jada products. Jada's models are still sold in the U.S. Over here, they were released by Dickel. Sorry, whatever it's called. Okay, gotcha. So they're still released in the U.S., but they are just produced overseas. Okay, gotcha. I thought there were only 2 Ice Age movies. Man, you have been living under a rock. They have been continuing that franchise like nobody's business. There are literally 5 Ice Age movies, and they are planning on making a 6th one now under the Disney ownership. It's pronounced Dicky, so you got that right. Okay, good. Dark Lord Sith the Sloth. Yes, why not? Just do a crossover. Put Sid the Sloth in Star Wars. Why not? Okay, let's put this here. Guys, look, it's something that vaguely resembles R2-D2. We're making progress. Let's see. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, look up the screenshot of Sid the Sloth in Alien Earth. It is hilarious. They even quote Ice Age 4 in Alien Earth, which is hilarious. I'm probably not pitching the show very well, but trust me, the show is good. Don't worry. And let's see. And yeah, I think after I get through bag 2, we will have hit the 2-hour mark, at which point I will probably end the stream. I just dropped way more pieces again. 1 second. There we go. KOTOR, but instead of finding out you're actually Darth Revan, you're actually Sith the Sloth. Perfect. Also, spoiler alert, sorry. But all right, I'm gonna stop now. It's not even funny. Yes. In KOTOR, you find out that you are Sid the Sloth as a Sith. Maybe they'll do that in the KOTOR remake if we ever get that. All right, let's put that here. Also, I'm curious for Dominic. My Borderlands video was blocked in so many parts of Europe. Are you able to see it where you live? I'm very curious because for whatever reason, what's so funny about that video is that Lionsgate allowed it to be on the internet, but then Lionsgate Europe copyright blocked it in like Austria and Hungary and this whole list of European countries. So, can you see my Borderlands video? I'm very curious. All right, let's put this one here. I found where this piece for some reason was out of the bag, but we got it. We found where it goes. Crisis averted. I haven't seen it yet, but I might check it out. Okay, yeah, no worries. Feel free to check it out if you'd like. I had a lot of fun making that video. I feel like my editing skills have been getting a lot better, which has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to make more comedic videos like that. I'm excited to show you all my War of the Worlds video. I'm going to record the audio today, and I'm going to try to get it up on Monday. So I'm excited for you all to check that one out as well. Are the Borderlands games good? I've never played them. The only one that I've played all the way through is actually Tales from the Borderlands, which is the Telltale game. I actually do recommend that one. That one is it's got a pretty fun story and characters and world building. I do like that one. Sorry, let me just make sure I'm putting this on the right side before I continue. There we go. All right. But I played a little bit of Borderlands 1. I think the problem for me is that the Borderlands games are really made to be played multiplayer. You can have fun with it as single player, but it seems like the best experience is when you play co-op with friends. Dickie has more brands under their umbrella. Wow, that is quite a list there. I assume those are all pretty major toy companies. I'm not as familiar in kind of the toy and the collectible world, but I'm sure they make good quality stuff. I'll definitely have to check out some of the stuff they sell, like you've described to me. All right, let's put some on this side. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is what I've built of R2-D2 so far. Feel free to ask any questions or throw out any topics related to sci-fi or fantasy, and let's just chat and hang out. I'll probably be on for about 30 more minutes. So. And I was unsure if this time frame. Sorry, I just realized I need to put another piece on here. I wasn't sure if this time slot worked for most people, if 10 a.m. on a Saturday would be good or not. So this would, if nothing else, this will be a good test to see if this is a good time that works for people. Samwise, hello! Thanks for joining in. Thanks for stopping by. This is what I've built of R2-D2 so far. I have been streaming for an hour and a half, and this is what I've accomplished. This set is going to take a while. But if you have any topics or questions or whatever related to sci-fi, throw that out there. Let's see. Let me Give me 1 second. I need to put this down. Let me catch up on chat real quick. The only figures I collect are Transformers, but I stopped last year, just too expensive. Yeah, no, I totally get you. That's the biggest thing that I think holds me back from collecting more figures. Jada even got the Disney Cars license in 2016. Nice. So they even make cars as those models, huh? What is the worst scene in all of Star Wars? Oh boy, coming in swinging. For me, I'm going to go ahead and go with in Rise of Skywalker when Poe Dameron says somehow Palpatine returned. I'm going to put that as my worst scene because to me, that was such a weird meta admission from the writers of, we don't know how Palpatine is back, but here he is. Just deal with it. I probably would put that as my number one most hated scene in all of Star Wars. That's the one that most immediately comes to mind because it was just such an admission on the writer's part of, we have no idea how or we've brought him back. He's just back. Just deal with it, audience. And I could go into a whole rant, but I won't. But basically, I think bringing Palpatine back was the single worst decision that was made in the sequel trilogy. I think it completely undermines the original trilogy, and I think it undermines the previous movies in the sequel trilogy. So there you go. I hope that's a good answer for you. Oh man, this piece has a little scuff on it. I get that off. There's a tiny blue mark on this piece. I don't think it really shows up here, but Jada even announced a Darth Vader themed Porsche for 2026. I would totally drive a Darth Vader themed Porsche if they ever made a life-size version of that. I would totally drive around in that. Have you read or got any interest in reading any of the Warhammer novels? I would be open to Warhammer. I think Warhammer could be fun. I like the universe. The only exposure, I can't talk. The only exposure to Warhammer I've really had is that I've played a couple of the video games. I've played a bit of the first Space Marine game and then Dawn of War 2, which are fun. And I like the universe and I like the aesthetic. So I would totally be down to get more into the lore. Dig the shirt. I actually have the same shirt. Oh, nice. Yes, I love just the emblem of the Pink Floyd The Wall. And the album is really good too. I have actually not seen the movie though. And everybody has been telling me I need to see Pink Floyd's The Wall, the full-length movie, that it is very good. So I do need to get around to that at some point. I just have so many things that I am trying to watch and read all at the same time. If you couldn't tell from the nature of my channel, where I have just been talking about so many different things that are kind of all over the map, really. Did Jada make the... Oh, wait, hold on. Jada also made Kit from Knight Rider. Oh, that's really cool. Did they make the car from Final Fantasy 15? I would buy that. The car from Final Fantasy 15 is pretty cool, though I will say I just couldn't really get into Final Fantasy 15, I have to confess. I think the gameplay loop just wasn't really my thing. It was just a little too different from some of the other Final Fantasies. I do have Final Fantasy 16, which I do want to play at some point. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh my gosh, look, we're making progress. Okay, so this green side. Look at this, you're about to see magic happen. This is gonna be so anticlimactic. Where's the hole? There we go. We've got something that is starting to vaguely resemble R2-D2. We are making progress. Sadly not but it would be really cool. Yeah, I prefer Final Fantasy VIII Junction System in all. Yeah, 8 is one I want to get back to. 8 is one I played a bit of and just kind of fell off. I do want to get back and try 8. Oh my gosh, guys, we're almost all the way through bag 2. And we still got 25 minutes left before it hits noon, so I think maybe we will get into bag 3. Who knows? Maybe we'll make more progress than I anticipated. Haven't felt the itch to play Final Fantasy. The interesting thing about Final Fantasy is that all of the games are very different from one another in a lot of ways. If you're wanting my personal recommendation on where to start, if you ever want to play it, I would recommend either Final Fantasy IX or Final Fantasy X. Those are my personal favorites of the series. I know a lot of people swear by 7. I know a lot of people swear by some of the newer ones, but my personal favorites are 9 and 10. But of course, if you talk to other people, they will say different. But that's just my take. Guys, we completed bag 2. There we go. All right, let me put this on here. It was funny because this stream was partly inspired by Tuda Ramble did one of their first ever live streams was of Richard building a Lego Dune set. And that stream is about 3.5 hours long, I think. So they streamed for quite a while. I doubt I will go that far. Make sure I got this in right. Look at that. It articulates. And it makes a noise. Sorry. All right, let's keep going here. Get this trash out of the way. Jada needs to make Domino and Beast from Team Knight Rider. You know, I hate to say, but I'm not that familiar with Knight Rider. I know the car. I know that Hasselhoff is in it, right? But I never watched the show. I think that one was a little before my time, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find bag 3. The Majora's Mask off stream, 30 minutes remain. Yeah, I don't own Majora's Mask. I'm sorry. Let's see. Final Fantasy 4, 6, and 8 are my favorites. Interesting. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about 4. I've definitely heard a lot of people talk about 6 and 8. 4 is one of the ones I haven't heard a lot about. I am curious that if I were to play 4, is there a specific version you would recommend? What would you have there? So, okay. We got bag 3. Let's go ahead and open it up. I forgot I had scissors. I could have just done that. Oh well. Also, if you see the page flapping, it's because I got the fan on, because it gets a little hot in this room. Hopefully it's not too loud for all of you. Man, I am getting hungry, though. That, funny enough, that's probably going to be the thing that ends this stream is not anything related to fatigue, but more of hunger. So let's see. Put this here. Put this here. Jada Toys Hollywood Rides needs an expansion. I can't say I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm definitely down for some cool Hollywood Ride collectibles. That sounds like fun. Also, if anybody has any other topics they want to throw out in terms of chatting, feel free to do so. I appreciate you all coming to this stream. I've gotten more people than I expected, which has been nice. It's been nice to hang out with y'all. There you go. I'm sorry. The joke got started, so now I have to keep doing it. I'm gonna title my next stream that I do. I'm gonna title Lego ASMR. Maybe I'll get more viewers that way. Who knows? Oh man. Make sure the stickers don't blow away. All right, put these there. Jada announced a RC Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters. Cool. I do like the Ecto 1. It's a cool car for sure. Yeah, I'd say the Game Boy Advance port of Final Fantasy IV just because it's upscaled. Oh, okay. Because I think they have a Final Fantasy IV you can get on Steam. I'll need to watch like gameplay footage of it to see how it looks. See if that's worth picking up. Sorry. Whew. Should have had more coffee this morning. I have the Jada diecast version of the Echo, and I'm already excited for the RC version. Oh, they make remote control cars as well. Nice. That does sound like fun. So it sounds like you're pretty big into those kinds of collectibles then, which is really fun. I'm curious. I'm gonna throw out a question, and this may backfire. We will see what people say. I'm just out of curiosity. What video on my channel is your personal favorite? Which one do you like the most? And I'm also curious for if there's anyone here who is new. What was the video that introduced you to the channel? I think that'll give me some good hints as to what people really enjoy, what kind of content y'all want to see. So I'm just curious. But yeah, the steak version is 3D, but it's a chibi style, and I don't like the cute character. Yeah, I really get it. I get you. I'm not a big fan of chibi art, just in general. It's just never something that's really ever appealed to me. So I get you. I lost track of where I was. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I really enjoyed your Alien Resurrection video. Thank you. I really enjoyed that one too. Funny enough, my dad watched that video and texted me afterwards that he really liked it. So that was fun to hear that. I didn't know that he was gonna watch that video, so it was good to know that he really got a kick out of it. I also have the Jada scale of the Buggy from Lilo and Stitch. Oh, that's funny. So they do some pretty obscure ones too. That's interesting. So they don't just do high profile stuff. Oh, you meant Steam, not steak. Okay, that makes way more sense. Oh my gosh, I skipped a page again. This is part of the why it's taking so long, is the fan will blow over the page and then I'll miss stuff. Here we go. But so far, so good. Let's go with this. Also, yes, I know you're at work. Please don't get in trouble on account of me, okay? I don't need your boss coming to my YouTube channel giving me flack. Oh my gosh, I'm spilling so much. I forgot I already opened this bag. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Half of this video has been me just spilling pieces on the ground. I don't think I gave myself a big enough table to work with. So that's part of the problem. Oh my gosh, I spilled like 5 pieces. 1 second. Okay, there we go. I like the April Fool's Crunchwrap video. Oh my gosh, that's a throwback. That one is from a while ago. But in all seriousness, Running Man was great, and the Alien movie reviews were good. I really like most of your stuff. I like the film stuff. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I can't believe I just did that. Let me get that. Jada also makes character-themed vehicles. I would love to see a collection based on the Owl House. I've heard good things about that show. Never watched it, but I have heard good things about it. Let's see. Blade Runner 2049 would be a cool video to see on your channel. I would love to do a Blade Runner video at some point. Part of the problem is I think I've gotten overly ambitious in some of my stuff. My videos have just been getting longer and longer. And some of that is good. I really... Sorry, I'm distracted. I really enjoy doing in-depth analysis videos. I've discovered the longer that I've made stuff on YouTube that I just don't really enjoy doing the short kind of standard reviews as much as I used to. I way more enjoy doing the more in-depth analysis videos, and Blade Runner would be ripe for that. I don't know if I would want to do that as a series of talk about the book, the 80s movie, and then 2049, or if I would want to do that as one mega video where I talk about all three of those things. But Blade Runner is something I definitely have on the back burner because I only ever saw 2049 the one time, and I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie, and I would love to watch it again. Long form videos are better. I generally agree. I'm excited though to make the War of the Worlds video to show you all. That one's probably going to be about 10 minutes long, but oh my gosh, I feel like I can make that one pretty entertaining because it is such a hilariously bad film. Okay, let me find this piece real quick so that I can get back on track. Here we go. Jada even made the Ford Taurus from RoboCop. It even comes with a die-cast figure of RoboCop. I think I may have seen that one. And I am a big fan of RoboCop. I think the original is fantastic. And not going to lie, kind of hot take, I think RoboCop 2 is kind of underrated. I actually think RoboCop 2 is a pretty solid sequel, all things considered. It's not as good as the original, of course, but it is still entertaining. And I've also been playing RoboCop Rogue City on Steam, which is a really fun first-person shooter RoboCop game. So if you haven't played that, I would definitely recommend it. And it's way more affordable than some other games out there. So maybe wait until it goes on sale. They just released some DLC for it, but I gotta finish playing through the main campaign before I do that. As long as the video is over 5 minutes, I'll watch it. Good to know. Good to know. Have you ever done a Jada toy review on your channel? No, I have not. I don't think I will ever do, to be honest. I don't think I'd ever do toy reviews. Just because I don't think I'm super knowledgeable in that arena. And it's not something that I'm super passionate about. I do enjoy, figures and toys like this. I'm going to show this even though it looks like nothing yet. But I would still be open to doing streams like this where I build a model while talking to you guys at the same time. I feel like that format would work very well for me. I'd love to see you cover I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, or my favorite book, The Defying Comedy. Yeah, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I have read that story, and it is dark, as the name would imply, but very good. Very well done. I don't know if I would ever do a full review on it, or if I would include it in a compilation of like 10 sci-fi stories you need to read, or something like that. The Divine Comedy would be an interesting one to tackle, because oh my gosh, there are so many angles you could come at that from, and so much theology to unpack there too. And that's been something I've been sitting on that I would like to do more of. Is I personally, one of my videos that I'm the most proud of is my Theology of Alien 3 video, and I would love to do more videos like that, of getting into movies or books that have theological or religious significance and unpacking that. That's one of the big things that I am sitting on that I want to get to, is Narnia. Narnia is one of my favorite book series of all time, and of course, people will always make the joke that it's just about Lion Jesus, but if you actually dive into the books, there is way more to it than that. And there's a lot that you can really unpack with each of the books. Plus, it's just been years since I've read them. So I would love to go back and do in-depth analysis videos on those. And I've had other YouTubers express interest in watching something like that. So I did a review on the kit from Knight Rider on my channel last year. Okay, cool. So do you do toy reviews on your own channel? That's cool. And I do like the Knight Rider card. Maybe a YouTube short for I Have No Mouth. I've thought about doing YouTube shorts as short reviews, basically doing it for books that I don't have a ton to say about, but I still want to cover in some capacity. I think that could definitely be an option for sure. It's an hour and 52 minutes. I think my plan right now is I will finish off bag 3, and then we'll end the stream there. But don't leave just yet. We'll still hang around here for a bit. Also, again, I apologize for the camera shaking. That's just because of the table. Here we go. I broke this bag in like 3 places. That's why it keeps spilling on me. Don't want to self-plug. Yeah, no self-plugging, man. I'm kidding. You can go ahead and plug away. I don't care. Don't want to self-plug, but it's so fun to watch theology stuff and media on my separate account YouTube channel, working on a DMC1 mega video of the theology and philosophy of the game. I would love to check that out whenever you get that made. And I've been enjoying your content too. I like your new videos. I liked your Manhunt video. Was good. So it's good to see you back on YouTube making stuff. It's been fun to watch. I do a few diecast video reviews on my channel. I might do a review of the Jada Toys Godzilla Nissan GTR. That's hilarious that even exists. Oh boy. This part. There we go. I'm about halfway done with it. Nice. That should be good. Yes, the big videos I have coming up on my channel, in case you're curious, are my War of the Worlds video will be coming out next. I would like to go back and talk about the book at some point. I don't really talk about the book in this video because, frankly, this Amazon adaptation is nothing like the book. It's not even worth comparing to the book. It's really War of the Worlds in name only. But the next videos I have coming up are War of the Worlds, and the next I should probably do my Alien Covenant video. And then after that, we'll see. I'll kind of play it by ear, see what I'm interested in talking about next. And I know I've talked about Alien a ton on this channel, but I just really have enjoyed that franchise so much, and I feel like I have a lot I can say about it as opposed to other stuff out there, and kind of separate myself a bit from some of the other content that's out there on YouTube. Thinking of covering Paradise Lost. Ooh, that would be a good one to cover. I actually started reading that one not too long ago. Need to go back and get back into it because I've never read all the way through Paradise Lost. But I very much enjoyed what I have read so far. So I definitely think Paradise Lost has some potential for a good review. Sorry, let me double check, make sure I haven't missed anything here. Ooh, getting tired. And I'm not even halfway done. Jada should get the Anais Ghost license. Anais Ghost is a graphic novel. I've never heard of that before. I have never heard of that graphic novel before. It sounds interesting. But yeah, not familiar with that one. Paradise Regained is my favorite. Okay, good to know. Funny enough, and I will talk about this a bit, Alien Covenant was originally going to be titled Alien Paradise Lost, but then the studio felt that title was too clunky, so they changed it to Alien Covenant. And what's very interesting about that movie, and I'll talk about it in the review, is that it tries really hard to draw parallels to Paradise Lost, but I don't think it quite works the way that they did it. It just doesn't quite land. And that movie is just a hot mess to me. Alien Covenant is so just it's a hot mess. That's the best way I can describe it. Jada should make some webtoon themed vehicles. That could be cool. Have you read Regained? I have not. I have not read Paradise Lost or Paradise Regained. I've been working on Paradise Lost, but I haven't gotten to that one. So there's definitely potential there. I'm telling you, man, if you saw my TBR, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The amount of things that I want to read, that I want to talk about, which, I mean, in some ways is a good problem to have. I feel like I have no shortage of things that I can talk about on my channel, especially since I started making reviews on movies and not just books. So it is, in many ways, it is a good problem to have, that there are too many things to review. All right. Got that. Someone mentioned RoboCop earlier, and now I have the score stuck in my head. Fantastic soundtrack, by the way, for the original RoboCop. I missed a piece. Oh, okay, there we go. My favorite Jada Toys collection is Hollywood Rides. Cool. A review of Nefarious or Donnie Darko could be cool. Okay, I've never seen either of those movies. I know Donnie Darko is really acclaimed, but I've never seen it, and I've never seen Nefarious either. I have heard good things, though. Here we go. A lot of theological stuff in those. Nice. Yep, I bet there's a lot you could really do getting into the angles of that. Sorry if it sounds like my battery is running low. Here we go. Let's see. I've almost got the second panel done on what I'm pretty sure is supposed to be one of R2-D2's. No, you know what? I think I finally figured it out. It's not R2-D2's leg. This is his body, and then the legs are going to attach here on the sides. That was totally planned. There we All right. This piece here. Lol, how do you mix that up? Goated streams. Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been fun, guys. This has been fun. And if you guys have any other questions, we're coming close to the end of bag 3 here. So if you guys have any other questions or things you want to talk about, throw them out now. Because we are almost to the end here. My favorite webtoon is Sugar and Spies by Pagekeeper. Jada could do a boat ton of merch. I've never really gotten into webtoons. Just not really my thing, I think. But that's cool. Yeah, and you know, who knows? Maybe they'll make something like that at some point. All right, here we go. We are assembling the rest here. The others, these just want to keep falling off. There we go. We've got a good chunk of R2-D2's body built. Still a ways away, but there we go. Let me see the next page. Okay. So that's the end of bag 3. I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple more questions before signing off. Are you going to do another food review for April Fools next year? I don't know. It's funny. I had thought about a couple of different ideas for April Fools videos, and then I just never did them. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't really in the mood for it or didn't think I could come up with something clever enough. But I would definitely be open to doing another April Fools video again. The first one got a lot of attention, and it was fun to do. It was fun to make. I suggest a Big Mac review or maybe a Crunchy Taco review. That could be fun. It could be fun to do another food review as April Fools, or do something else entirely. I don't want to spoil it, but I had thought of doing reviews of certain movies or books as an April Fool's video, basically making something that is super praising something that in real life I don't like or don't connect with. So that could definitely be a possibility. I had a dream where I made a Amity Bright Owl House themed Honda 2000 comes with a figure. Nice. Would you stream Mass Effect? I don't know. I will say, I'm going to try. It's going to take me a long time. I would like to put out a Mass Effect video for November 7th. But that is also going to be tough because there are other videos I want to put out at that time. Streaming it is definitely a possibility. I'm not opposed to the idea of streaming it. I've just never done a video game live stream before. It would be so different for me. But that could definitely be a possibility. This isn't really a video game dedicated channel, but that could be something. Jada made an Initial D Toyota. Nice. I know the Initial D car, so that is definitely really cool. I'd love to see some gaming videos. I do want to do some stuff that is more on in-depth analysis videos of video games, not more so on the story side. The big ones that I have thought about are Mass Effect and Halo, are the big ones that I have thought about doing videos on the story and the lore and stuff like that. So I'm definitely open to that. But all right, guys, it has been 2 hours and 4 minutes, and I have built a decent chunk of R2-D2. And I have gotten all the way to bag 4. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need a bookmark for this instruction book. It is so long. But we've gotten a good chunk done. Thank you guys so much for joining in on the stream. Sorry it took so long to get it up. This is my first time doing something like this in this format. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, definitely let me know in the comments. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining in, and I'll see you in the next video.